of who are you? Who are you really? When you take off the labels that you all wear, what's left? And why are you here? And what are you here to do? And are you doing it? And if you're doing it, are you doing it fully? Or maybe there's a little bit more in you that is still here to do. I attended a workshop similar to this one. The purpose was to examine who we were. The only reason I went is my husband wanted to go, Bruce, and he was allowed to take somebody for free. So, hey, I really didn't want to go. I was a very happy school teacher. I liked my job. I loved my job. I was good at my job. And it was about finding what was your purpose in being here. And even though a teacher is who I am, I have to say that there was a little voice in my head that kept whispering, Jude, there's more for you to do in this world. And as the time for this workshop got closer, I was getting more and more nervous because I felt like the jig was up. I felt like I'd done a job well. I was comfortable with my job. I had a lot of recognition at my job. I was respected in my job. And I really like being comfortable. I don't know how you feel, but I like being comfortable. And I was very comfortable with my life. I had the house, I had the stuff. But this little voice kept saying, Jude, there's more for you to do. And as the time for the event got closer and closer, I became more and more agitated, feeling like the jig was going to be up, and maybe life was going to become a little bit less comfortable. And you know what? It's gotten a whole lot less comfortable. But that's not such a bad thing. My life is a whole lot less comfortable than it was a few years ago. But it's also fulfilling, rewarding, empowering. I spend every single day fully expressing who I am in the world. I was afraid that if I admitted how powerful I was, I might have to end up in a room like this with strangers talking about things that are very intimate to me and very personal and important to me. Now, the truth is, I'm thrilled to be here, don't get me wrong. But it was a whole lot more comfortable going to work every day and teaching fourth graders. And I was afraid of that. I was afraid of being uncomfortable. I was afraid I might fail. I knew that other job. I knew I wasn't going to fail in that world. But to pursue what maybe else I had in me to pursue terrified me. And that poem is just so true for me, and I suspect it's true for everybody, that you all suspect there's more in you. And I'm not implying that anybody here is not successful. I know you're successful. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. I mean, people who are like worrying about success things are not here. They're worrying about putting food on their table. So I know you're successful. But the question is, how much more is in you? I really believe that I am not different from you. My story might be a little bit dramatic, and I'm not asking you all to leave your jobs and go out into the world and do something totally different. But I do believe that we all have this voice in us that kind of propels us to go a little bit further, that really pushes us to express fully who we are. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And it's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, or gorgeous, or talented, or fabulous? And actually, who are you not to be? And your playing small does not serve the world. And there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you, because we were all meant to shine just like children do. And it's not just in some of us, it is in all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we get liberated from our own fears and the things that keep us small, our presence automatically liberates everyone whom we touch.
Today's workshop was absolutely beautiful. It really took me back to those days when I was a child and I had all the exuberance for life and the excitement and couldn't wait to get up the next morning to see what was present. And some of that in the ensuing years kind of like fell by the wayside. And today I was rejuvenated and put back in touch with that exuberance I had when I was a child. It was just a great day.
The experience of the seminar is absolutely overwhelming for me. It changed my thoughts on life. It's made me realize that life doesn't have to be crazy. One step at a time, one day at a time is all you have to do. My life before today, I would juggle 12 things at one time. I'd worry about tomorrow, I'd worry about next week. There's no need to do all that, one day at a time.
I think Jude's methods are wonderful because while she is very direct in terms of delivering the message that she thinks is valuable for us to hear, she also manages to be both gentle and direct at the same time. She manages to sort of pierce through the falsehoods we might tell ourselves, but to do it with respect. To do it with respect for who we are, to do it with respect for our dignity. So while you never feel you've been intruded upon in any way, you feel you've really gone beyond your normal boundary. And it's an amazing balance to be able to do that in that way.
What a sweetheart. I've never met the woman in my life. I feel like I've known her for a very long time. She is the one that's changed my attitude on this. Besides the seminar, Jude had come across with such a feeling of love for everyone from herself. She's a very caring woman, and continue what she's doing. She's doing awesome.
This workshop would be wonderful for anyone who wishes to get the most they can out of their potential and the most they can out of life and bring back the joy and pleasure it is to live life.
Certainly, and anyone who's interested in greater self-knowledge, in greater growth, in being more effective in terms of taking action with regard to their desires, or people who are at a point where they don't have clarity about their desires. You know, sometimes you're not even ready to ask yourself about action because you don't have clarity about the desire itself. This workshop really brings you that kind of clarity.
Absolutely, 100% go. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear. Go take the seminar. You will learn from it. You'll learn to live a different life from the seminar. I feel I have.